Hello there, and welcome to today's heart-opening restorative yoga practice. This class is part of our February heart-opening series, so check out the other classes that are featured around Vinyasa, Hatha, and Yin heart-opening poses if you'd like to see more. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see the rest of the heart-opening series. Some props that might be helpful today include some blocks, a bolster if you have one, but if not, no worries. You can also make do with some pillows or blankets as well. So we'll start off today in a supported child's pose. So go ahead and grab your props. Maybe you start out with a blanket folded underneath your knees, especially if you're on a hard surface floor. And then take your feet together, knees apart. And some options here. You can take a block between your heels. And just sit back on the block for some extra lift. You can also do the same thing with a blanket. Placing a blanket just over your heels. And then taking your seat back, like so. And then, either with your bolster or a stack of pillows and blankets, fold forward into your child's pose. And if you're using pillows and blankets, play around with the height of your stack until you find the height that feels comfortable for you. And it can be helpful to have a mixture of really thick blankets and blankets that are a little bit smaller as well. And take the time to get situated and comfortable. Try and find a nice support for underneath your head as well. And we'll be here for about 5 minutes. Inhale in, and as you exhale, slowly press yourself back upright. And move your props just off to the side. And we'll set up for supported fish. So there are a couple ways to do this. The one that is a little more gentle on the back is take a blanket and then roll it up. You can play around with which height works best for you. Lay it on your mat, come onto your back. Place the rolled up blanket underneath your shoulder blades. Lay back. Your hands can be wherever is comfortable. Your feet might be flat on the mat, or you might stretch them out long. Couple other options with your blocks. They can both be on the lowest level, one to support your head and one for underneath the shoulder blade area. This other block, take it under the medium height for underneath your shoulder. And then lay back. And play around with it. Make sure you're in a comfortable, sustainable position. Inhale in. As you exhale, bring your feet back to the mat if they aren't already there, and then start to gently press up out of the pose. From here, we'll set up an incline. So taking your blocks, you'll want one on the low height and one on either the medium or the highest height. And then you can play around with this to find out what incline works for you. If you have a bolster, you'll take your bolster and set up your incline like so. If you don't have a bolster, you can take your stack of blankets from before. You might need a couple more so the blocks aren't so pokey. And And you also can do this without an incline, just flat on your back as well. So as you come to sit back, make sure that you're sitting right up against either your bolster or your blanket. Also making sure that you have support for your head. And if it feels a little wobbly, just resituate until you have it where you want it. And then from here, we'll come into reclined cobbler's pose. So bringing the soles of your feet together, knees fall open outwards. You might take a support underneath your knees if you have more blocks, or some blankets work as well. And for the blankets, I'm going to make this a little less steep of an incline so it feels a little more secure. So one block is on the lowest height and one is on the medium height, and we'll try that. Inhale. And then take your hands underneath your knees, gently bring them back upright. From here, either keep your feet on the mat, knees bent, or take your legs out long and just rest here for another minute or two. Inhale in. And exhale, bring your feet back to the mat if they aren't already there. Gently press back up, and you can remove the incline. And you can also move your blocks off to the side. From here, set up for Savasana. For a supported Savasana, I like to take a rolled up blanket for underneath the head and the neck. Mooney thinks the blanket's for him. And then another one for underneath the knees, for a little bend in the knees, or placing your legs over a pillow or bolster. And then if it's cold, having a blanket to cover up with. Once again, taking the time to get comfortable and settled. You can also have your feet flat on the mat, knees falling inwards towards each other, especially if that feels better on the low back than having your legs out long. And when you're comfortable, close your eyes. We'll be here for about the next 5 minutes, so I'll cue you again when it's time for us to move again. Inhale in and exhale out. Start to wake your body back up, moving your toes and your fingers, taking a full body stretch. When you're ready, gently rolling to one side. And gently pressing back up when you're ready. Take a deep breath in and just notice how you feel. And when you're ready, blink your eyes open. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. I hope you're feeling relaxed and refreshed.